Hi, everyone, and welcome to our latest interview of IAPSS team members. I'm here with Rose Smith, who has served multiple roles in IAPSS, including on the Executive Committee and the Advisory Board, and as a coordinator in, I believe, various roles in IAPSS departments. So, Rose, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm going to get my COVID vaccination later, so I hope it's going to be fine.
Well, that's great to hear, and I hope it goes well. And so, I guess to get started, we generally ask for information about yourselves, so including, maybe kind of some of your past involvements in IAPSS, your education background, any other information that you'd like to share.
Yeah. So I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm currently based in Prague. I'm doing my doctoral dissertation with Charles University in Czech Republic and University of Groningen in the Netherlands. I'm doing a joint doctoral PhD. My dissertation is located in the field of memory politics. It deals with the memory of communism in museums and the construction of a European memory of communism. So that's it. That's sort of what I'm doing now. I graduated an international master's from the University College London at Charles University, as well as the University College London School of Slavonic and Eastern European Studies. And I also did a master's in political philosophy from Ural Federal University. And I have a double BA degree in political science and European studies from Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines, which is where I'm from. So that's sort of my academic background.
All right, and well, I guess, is there anything you'd like to tell us about your past roles in IAPSS and stuff? Maybe if you'd like to walk us through it and maybe talk about some particular accomplishments or projects that you worked on that you're proud of.
Yeah. So I started out as a membership campaign coordinator, and then that's how I got involved in the regionalization program of IAPSS, which I think is one of the projects that is really close to my heart. Because when I joined IAPSS, it was very much based in Europe. A lot of its projects were in Europe. And as somebody who lives outside or is from, actually, I did live in Russia at that time, but as somebody from outside of Europe, I felt that it was very inaccessible, especially for developing countries and especially students to fly from outside of Europe in. And so I was really passionate about it. And I think I became the first and probably the only vice president of regional affairs, since that position doesn't exist now. And after that, I was elected as a member of the advisory board just in the previous mandate. But I think one of the things that I really liked about the regionalization process was the call for applications for regional chairs, because I got to meet a lot of people from all over the world, and I interviewed them and I got to know their passion and what they stand for. And they were literally from everywhere. And I think that's one of the things that I think I'm most proud of to be part of IAPSS, because when I entered and after when I left, I feel like it was a completely different creature in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you played a pivotal role in help bringing about that change and making IAPSS a much more inclusive and wide-reaching organization. So I think that political science students around the world definitely owe you gratitude for all you've done in that regard. And so I guess with that, I know that you're kind of in the transition period and you're kind of like focusing on studies and stuff at the graduate level. So I guess, what are some things that you're working on for the rest of the year? And is there anything that you would like members who might be watching to be aware of and stuff?
At the moment, I'm working on my doctoral dissertation, which has been delayed because of COVID. I was supposed to do my field research last year, but then since the borders were closing and we really didn't know what was happening in the whole entire world, I had to delay it 1 year. So now what I'm looking forward to, hopefully, if COVID allows, is that I'm going to be doing my field research in Warsaw. I'm going to be doing a research day at the Center for Research on Social Memory at the University of Warsaw. And after that, I'm going to be going to Budapest with PAST Inc. at Center of for Historical Studies at the Central European University in Budapest. And that's sort of what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year. And I also have to spend 1 semester in Groningen in the Netherlands, because that's also one of my universities for my PhD. So it's not really, I'm not going to be presenting in any conferences anytime soon, since I'm have to focus on my field research. But I think that's, you know, life as a PhD student. You need to sort of do research.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely, I'm sure it'll be an exciting experience when you're able to do that field research and stuff. At least from my experience, it's been, yeah, quite a, you know, it really puts into perspective when you interview someone or, you know, interact with them on a, even if it's like a survey or something. But at this point in the interview, we really get a little bit more conceptual and stuff, and we really think about, I guess, the theory, like the political science students that we are. So Rose, what is your vision for the future of IAPSS? So I guess you've been in IAPSS a long time. You've seen it evolve as an organization. You've seen it grow with the regionalization initiative. And I guess where do you think that IAPSS should go in the future, especially for those who might be watching in the future?
Yeah, I think being in IAPSS for quite a number of years, well, first of all, I need to also talk about your impact as president. I'm really, really happy that IAPSS is under your leadership for, I think, 2 mandates now. And I don't know if you could run for the next one, but I really think that because of your leadership and because of your passion also for IAPSS, it's a bit easier to dream for IAPSS because you really put a lot of work in it. So I think the first vision that I have is financial independence. It's throughout the years that I've volunteered for IAPSS, there's always a question of money. Where are we going to get the budget? Where are we going to get funding? And I believe that there are already initiatives in IAPSS, at least in the past mandate when I was serving as the advisory board. There were some initiatives to get some grants, to get some support, although non-political, because, you know, we have to keep that rule, not political funding. So that's sort of my vision, to have like some financial support, not only for projects, but also for volunteers, because I don't support any institution that doesn't pay its volunteers, especially students, because I've been there, I've worked a lot hours, and it's no joke really to run an international association. And I think that, so my vision for the future is for the volunteers to get some sort of monetary support for the time that they put in, and also to have a lot more support financially in terms of the project, so that we can really implement the projects that we have in mind and not have to limit it with our financial capacity. And I think that's more of like the logistical, more practical side of my vision. But I think it's really important because it's a backbone of the association at the end of the day. And maybe now it would change a little bit. Maybe we have a little bit more freedom now because Zoom workshops and seminars are a little bit more acceptable. So this kind of gives IAPSS a little bit more leeway to still do the projects and not have to be burdened by the financial costs. The second one is, of course, in terms of regionalization. I know that we've already began the process of having more independent and working regional teams. And that's something that I really look forward to in the future. I'm still like, even though if I'm not involved, I still check the website once in a while or check the Facebook page, because I think at some point, you know, when you've worked on something, you put your heart into it and you want to see how it's going to turn out. And I'm sure that especially you, Justin, would have like so much more investment in the association as president. So that's also one thing that I want to see, more independent working regional groups that can implement its own projects and give opportunities to the students in its region. And that they're able to also address issues, political concerns that are more central to the region. So that's one thing. And the third one is to develop its advocacy. And I know that this is something that you've also been involved in. I want to see IAPSS as an international voice of the youth in the future, to have policy statements, to have its stands published, and not only published but also listened to and taken seriously. And I think IAPSS is not yet there. I think that there's still quite a lot of time needed for this to happen. But this is something that I really, really want, because there's a lot of talented members who have really important, who have a lot of opinions on really important topics that needs to be heard, and needs to be taken seriously. So that's something that that's sort of like my vision for the association.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for the compliments there. It's yeah, I think it's very. I think you really hit on all the major points that from the technical like budget stuff to the advocacy stuff that can go a lot of different ways. But I think we're doing the best we can based on the foundation that those who came before us have built for us, right? So it's that's allowed us to really, when we do want to go further and kind of push the limits of the organization, we've been able to do that, and it's been it's really opened up a lot of possibilities for sure. And so I guess on that note, is there, because as this is sort of like a time capsule, where political science students in the future might look back to see what happened, during the 2020s, or during the age of COVID-19, things like that. Is there any other kind of message or thoughts or anything else you would like to share with political science students around the world?
So I've just finished a course with the European Academy of Diplomacy, which is the Academy of Young Diplomats. And I'm going to be graduating by the end of the year, before the end of the year. And I think that this is something that political science students could look into, and I believe they're also one of our partners. And I really personally like the program. I actually started in 2019, where I would go to Warsaw every month to have like a weekend of seminars, workshops, and lectures from huge global personalities. And I think it was really great to network and to learn a lot of personal experiences of these huge diplomats or politicians in Europe and beyond. And then when the COVID happened, I decided to continue next year, hoping that it's going to be in person, because they moved to online. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So we did it again online. And I think a few weeks ago, we had our last session, which was in person finally. So I would really recommend looking into the programs that they have. They have different kinds of programs in the academy that would probably suit whichever field that you're interested in. And I really recommend that. I think it's really great. And I'm really happy that they are one of our partners, because they really give like great programs for students and opportunities also. And I think with our graduation, it's going to be around the same time as the Warsaw Security Forum. So if you're interested in international security or security studies, this is also a really great program to look into. And you can do it with your full-time job or studies. And we also have not only students, but also young professionals and diplomats who are also taking the course. So you not only learn from the invited guests, but also from your colleagues who are also in the program. So I really liked it.
Well, that sounds great, like a great opportunity. And for folks who are interested, there's information on the IAPSS website on our partners page about the European Academy of Diplomacy, as well as links that you can explore from there. So I guess with that, thank you so much, Rose, for sharing some time with us here, and congratulations on graduating from that program. And if there's anything else you need, you're welcome to let us know anytime. But it's so great to I guess on behalf of IAPSS and its constituents around the world, thank you so much for everything that you've done for this organization. It's really brought us to the point where we are now, and it's I think we've improved quite a bit, and we've continued to build on what our predecessors have accomplished, and hopefully we can keep that going in the future. So I guess thank you so much for helping us I guess reach some of those next goals in that journey, and yeah, so thank you so much. Take care, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.